Atlanta has had controversies before, but never like this. The Frost household has already been torn apart by constant rumors. Courtroom arguments and unfulfilled promises have just exploded into chaos. The neighbors were reportedly awakened by the sound of rage, shattered glass, and screaming as Jasmine attacked Kirk's residence in the middle of the night. After a severe custody battle, witnesses claimed she was pounding on the door and shouting Kirk's name, demanding to see her. Kid. When the door would not open, she snapped. Postal boxes fell out of the ground. Windows cracked. Alarms were going off as Rasheeda was allegedly inside, yelling at Kirk to clean up the mess you made. Police scanners activated. Fan pages shared. Shaky security footage before anybody could take it down. Within minutes, hashtags like Jasmine v. Kirk and custody battle were in vogue, trending all around the world. What caused Jasmine to reach this breaking point? Which court disclosures made her defensive? More importantly, how will Kirk and Rasheeda cope with the fallout from the catastrophe he caused? The tension had been growing for weeks, maybe months. What began as brief comments on gossip websites and quiet arguments in attorneys' offices had finally erupted in a courtroom and then swept through the streets of Atlanta. The custody struggle between Jasmine and Kirk Frost was not only ugly, but it was also combustible. The contaminated legacy of Kirk's tense past with Jasmine has harmed his marriage to Rasheeda for years. The child they produced together was allegedly a secret that nearly drove the Frost empire to its knees. Secrets, however, often surface again. And this time, Jasmine wasn't pleased to be overlooked. She wanted rights. She desires attention. She also wanted revenge, according to insiders. Court documents that were allegedly leaked online painted a negative image. Jasmine's attorneys claimed that Kirk had not paid her many visits, concealed her educational possibilities from her, and even utilized his marriage as a means of keeping her out of her child's life. Kirk's side, on the other hand, presented Jasmine as unpredictable, unreliable, and attention-seeking rather than responsible. The courtroom was a frosty place. Steps, profanities were muttered, and Rasheeda sat still, oblivious. Jasmine's journey. Fans outside the courthouse described the atmosphere as thrilling and even apocalyptic. You felt it. One of the bystanders told a gossip fogger, as if things were about to break. Jasmine came in like she was ready for combat. And war seems to have been the next stage. Following the alleged social media leak of courtroom recordings, the custody issue broke out. In the shaky video, a lady fans believed to be Jasmine could be heard screaming, "You stole my son from me," before Kirk's muffled voice replied, "You're not fit to raise him." The judge's gavel slammed repeatedly, and there were gasps in the background. As a consequence, hashtags like Badshar Jasmine Snaps and Hadshar Frost C Courtroom trended hourly, irrespective of the authenticity of the audio. The ruling itself was never made public, but insiders believed Kirk had gained a temporary victory. Reports state that his visiting plans stayed the same and that Jasmine's demands were put on hold until after more evaluation. To fans, that sounded like Jasmine had been cut off again. This time, she wouldn't accept it. By evening, gossip blogs were ablaze, with claims that Jasmine was upset. A friend of Jasmine's informed one outlet. She felt ashamed. She thought Kirk used his connections, wealth, and even Rasheeda's influence to drive her away. "This is not the end of it," she murmured, shaking as she walked out of the courtroom, transformed into a prophecy. Hours later, Jasmine reportedly drove straight to Kirk's house. Instead of speaking or pleading, neighbors claimed they wanted to vent all the rage the courts had caused. She arrived just after 10 o'clock. Her car roared into the parking lot. The next situation sounds like it was lifted straight out of the end of a reality TV program. A fan page was alerted by a neighbor that, "I heard banging like someone was trying to tear the door off its hinges." She then lied and cried for her son while yelling his name. It felt like the whole street was shaking. Jasmine may be heard shouting, "Let me see him. He's my son too," on the shaky, grainy surveillance film that supposedly shows her pacing outside the Frost house while her fists slam on the front door. The footage appeared and spread like wildfire in a matter of hours. Blogs with dramatic captions shared it. Jasmine brings the fight to Kirk's doorstep. Oh no. When no one answered, Jasmine's anger only grew. The neighbors said she ripped a mailbox off the ground and tossed it against the side of the house. Police then denied that any windows had been smashed, while others reported hearing glass break. It blared throughout the home, and another witness said, "All I know is that alarms went off." It was said that Rasheeda was internally shocked. According to rumors, she was shouting at Kirk to call the police and tidy up the mess he had made. Kirk apparently tried to calm her down. Others insist that he froze because the weight of his double existence unraveled and rendered him paralyzed, once more. Regardless matter the truth, the image of Rasheeda stuck in her own home as Jasmine cried outside was enough to spark a gazillion fan theories. And the neighbors weren't the only ones watching. After grabbing their phones, others on the opposite side of the street began shooting. Videos of Jasmine pacing, yelling, and pointing at the windows as if to challenge Kirk to come out began to spread on TikTok almost immediately. The videos were shaky vertical shots. "You can sue me all you want, Tile. Never stop," she stated in a video that went viral. "Defending my child." Police allegedly arrived, and the remark was utilized as a catchphrase on fan edits and memes that depicted Jasmine as both a villain and an avenger. After a few minutes, lights started to flash, and sirens could be heard over the pandemonium. Jasmine was apparently restrained but not arrested. In any event, the damage was done. Sources claim that a formal complaint was filed, and some blogs even claim that Kirk filed trespassing charges, while others claim he immediately withdrew because he was worried that it would just tarnish his name. By midnight, the internet was in flames. Twitter timelines were filled with jokes, memes, and outrage, and everyone had receipts, and the Frost house had turned into a public battleground. Some sided with Jasmine, saying that Kirk's choice to cut her off from her child had pushed her over the edge, while others labeled her reckless and crazy. But the issue that no one could answer was raised by the loudest yells. Where was the youngster at the time of the attack? Some reports claim that he was with relatives who lived far away from the chaos, while others claim that Jasmine's yelling wasn't just a sign of rage, and that he was inside the house when she showed up. As usual, the reality was kept under wraps, but it was apparent that they were yearning for her own child to listen to them. Jasmine had declared war on the whole Frost family, not just Kirk, and the custody battle had moved from the courtroom to the public eye. A few hours after the cliffhanger, an unknown user posted what they claimed to be a voicemail left inside the Frost home. The internet exploded in celebration of the Frost family's imminent doom as soon as Rasheeda's allegedly heard a woman's voice saying, "This is it, Kirk. I can no longer live this way." Hours after Jasmine's late-night altercation at Kirk's house, a 30-second video began to go viral on TikTok and Twitter. A front yard camera captured this grainy black and white image. If there was a spark in the courtroom, the explosion was the attack, and the gasoline poured over the flames was seen on security cameras. The timestamp in the corner reads 10:07 p. a dot. It showed Jasmine running madly up and down the path and pointing with her hands in the air at the Frost's front door. Viewers said they heard her add, "He's my son too, Kirk," but it was hard to make out what she was saying as she raced to the door and slammed her fist so hard that the camera shook. Even though the video was unsteady, it went viral. Captured on video. In captivity, Jasmine storms Frost house. One of the headlines that appeared on blogs was, "Meltdown in Frost, surveillance camera." Jasmine's rage frightened fans of the leak, but that was hardly the beginning. Another clip surfaced, with comments like, "She really pulled up like GTA and this ain't leal." The shaky iPhone footage, allegedly taken by a neighbor across the street, showed Jasmine pulling the Frost's mailbox out of the ground and throwing it into the lawn. Although the police later claimed that no windows had been broken, the video garnered millions of views and hours regardless of its accuracy. It's war. You said this occurred years ago. According to insiders, Rasheeda was screaming at Kirk during her rage inside the house, which was just as intense as Jasmine's outburst outside. Some even said that in the middle of the chaos, Rasheeda was yelling, "He brought this on himself," while speaking on the phone with her mother. "He brought something into our home. You said she was no longer permitted to touch us." Alleged voicemails that purportedly captured Rasheeda in tears became viral on blogs. She sounded angry and chilly according to others. She said, "Fix this, Kirk. after a purported leak. Real or phony, the impact was devastating, and fans immediately grasped the notion that Rasheeda's patience had finally broken. "I'll quit protecting you if you don't repair it." A popular post that combined Rasheeda's earlier footage with the video of Jasmine hammering on the door said, "I'm bossed up from a love and hip-hop confessional. Bossed up until Jasmine pulls up," the caption read. Instagram edits turned the security footage into memes, and Twitter gave rise to the hashtag #JasmineevSkirk. Look, all I'm going to say is that when you don't end chapters, they actually come knocking back at your door. Young Jock, who was never one to keep quiet, mentioned the brutal words on his morning radio show. Even celebrities had to weigh, and fans called the clip the shadiest read of 2025, and when his co-hosts laughed, Carly Red couldn't resist taking a picture with a bottle of wine. The caption read, "You guys think your drama is over. LOL." Immediately, her comments were flooded with laughing emojis and, of course, Carly Messy went one step further and added a crown emoji along with the message, "She claimed her throne baby," to Jasmine's photo. While some criticized her for glorifying the chaos, others agreed. Jasmine had turned the custody battle into a battle for dignity. The influx of celebrity responses made Rasheeda's predicament much worse. Her boutique page, which was previously replete with compliments on her clothing line, was suddenly overrun with followers who remarked, "Check your man. You deserve better. Your tale is being handled by Jasmine." Rasheeda had to temporarily deactivate her Instagram comments while Jasmine was hiding because of the overwhelming volume of offensive remarks, which regrettably just helped to fan the flames. Hours after the video went viral, she posted a black screen with the words, "When they block you in court, you knock on doors," along with an enigmatic story. When she added a fist emoji, fans went berserk. Some saw it as evidence that she had actually attacked the person. Rumor sites claim that Kirk had phoned the police, but there are conflicting reports about whether he filed charges. Some thought it was an outright insult, and Kirk was challenged to push her farther before mid-morning. Police were dispatched to his home that evening to investigate a domestic disturbance, according to official sources. However, one website said he filed a trespassing charge, while another claimed he chose not to escalate because he was worried it would make him look weak. In a third video leak that appeared to show the interior of the Frost home, shakily and poorly shot on camera from a window, Rasheeda's voice could be heard yelling, "I told you, Kirk, you were never the end of her." This was the next unexpected trend. "Don't put this on me," a man who appeared to be Kirk remarked in the background. "She's crazy." The video ended with a loud boom, which some viewers believed to be Rasheeda throwing something across the room, while others believed it may have been the sound of a door slamming. Blogs posted the audio all over the place, referring to it as the Frost's marriage crumbles in real time, and a cruel, spiteful, and pervasive meme portrayed Kirk hiding beneath a bed as Jasmine and Rasheeda battled above him. Creators of Hop and Love were compelled to criticize the debate. The most horrifying part happened at night when a burner account shared a short audio tape allegedly taken outside the Frost residence at the time of the event, in which a woman's frantic, raspy voice could be heard saying, "This is just the beginning." The Insider reportedly removed Reality Rights itself and tweeted about it. That one sentence went viral for hours, with fans begging the network to broadcast the video. Watch what happens next. Supporters immediately thought it was Jasmine, which, if true, suggested the strike was a warning shot rather than a singular occurrence. A few hours later, a gossip site went viral with an anonymous email and 3 attached images, 2 of which showed smashed objects on the frozen grass, the ripped mailbox, and what seemed to be broken glass. No one knew whether Jasmine left it, but the sloppy, irate handwriting was genuine enough to have followers wondering till the next morning. The third showed a darker message written on lined paper. "He's mine too." Social media wasn't just humming. It was boiling. There were Jasmine memes on every timeline, blog, and gossip website. TikTok remixes turned her beating on Kirk's front door into dance challenges. Instagram reels showed Jasmine tearing out the Frost mailbox. Rasheeda edits and Kirk being carried from here to forever gave rise to the hashtag Shocker Custody Battle. ATL on Twitter, and the leaked neighbor film was the mushroom cloud, if the courtroom audio was the spark and the house attack was the explosion. In one widely circulated version, Jasmine's yelling outside the chilly house was edited in between Rasheeda's store advertising films, with the comment, "She doesn't sell clothes, she sells patience." In earlier episodes of Love and Hip Hop, the comment area was ruthlessly crazy. Another brutal fan edit played Kirk's voice yelling, she said, over video of his clumsy dancing. Young Jock, who had previously denigrated the Frosts on his radio show, went all out live when the famous pylon arrived. He smiled and added, "Look, all I know is that if you don't secure your doors, you'd better be ready for the hurricane to hit Atlanta. Bro, you made this circus." His wife, Kendra, sent a quietly impactful statement on social media. Fans thought she was rooting for Jasmine right away, but Carly Red turned the turmoil into content by posting a video of herself and her kids enjoying champagne. Mothers and their children are not to be played with. Although Carly's engagement rate skyrocketed, she received backlash online for being careless. Mama D and Dot went all out, donning white regalia and a complete crown. "Jasmine, baby, you did what queens do claim," she remarked live. Fans laughed, Rasheeda supporters groaned, and even singers who weren't involved in the love and hip-hop scene contributed their voices to the discussion. "You see what happens when men play games with women? The kingdom falls." An Atlanta rapper said on Twitter, "I'm suing your side chick, but she's pulling up to your house. 2025 is already a hectic year." Kirk got more spin-offs than Marvel, another quipped. One nasty meme even used a going-out-of-patience sale to fake her clothes business display. The carnival of social media was unbearable to Rasheeda. Usually flooded with loving emojis and stylish comments, her boutique's Instagram has become a battleground. "Jasmine running your storyline for you," and "leave him already, sis," were among the comments that filled her page. "My mid-afternoon Rasheeda Emma quit commenting entirely, but this just caused fans to yell louder. She is aware that she is concealing." Jasmine, meantime, leaned in the direction of the confusion. Instead of retreating, she made fun of him. Her next Instagram picture included a blurry image of fierce eyes and smudged mascara, along with the caption, "Say what you want. I'll always stand up for myself." She received both praise and condemnation from her supporters. Some hailed her as a warrior mother, and she refused to be manipulated by Kirk. Others called her dangerous and crazy. Anyway, Jasmine was the main character and the main focus of the plot. The Frost neighbors weren't quiet either. Anonymous locals began DMing bloggers after the incident to report seeing police cars outside Kirk's house. They also published a photo of the Frost family's driveway with blue lights flashing and mirrored on it. Another alleged Rasheeda could be heard shouting through the walls, "Kirk, this is it. I'm done." The alleged remark became a dramatic headline. Following that, there were blogs with headlines like "Rasheeda finally reaches breaking point after Jasmine attack," and purported insider disclosures. In the midst of the chaos, an anonymous account believed to be connected to production staff shared a supposedly recorded audio clip from the Frost house. It was subdued but chilly. "You misled me about her being done," stated fans of Woman's Voice. "Kirk, you lied once more," as though it were Rasheeda. A guy who was allegedly Kirk stated, "She's crazy. I can't control her," in the background as the recording screeched to a stop. A number of theories were proposed. Was it a broken vase, a slammed door, or something Rasheeda threw at Kirk? The video was repeatedly played again and debated by fans until it became the standard. The internet definitively resolved one issue. Kirk had lost control of his marriage, his house, and his reputation. The conversation also touched on love and hip-hop producers. Fans accused them of releasing footage to keep the audience interested. Only one awkward tweet was issued by a production assistant. The truth of Count Reed's situation is obvious. The fact that there are no longer any cameras is forgotten. In just a few minutes, it was deleted after being screenshotted several times. The fan culture around the issue grew increasingly disgusting by the hour. Edits portrayed Jasmine as the anti-hero, Rasheeda as the depressed queen, and Kirk as the middle clown. The chaos extended to TikTok lives, where fan accounts hosted mock courtrooms by late at night. Some followers flooded Jasmine's page with crown emojis, proclaiming her the queen of chaos, while others created fake wanted posters of Kirk with the caption, "4 crimes against Rasheeda's patience." Debating over who was more to blame, Jasmine, storming the house or Kirk pushing her over the edge. Following years of Kirk's lies blowing up, one admirer said, "Jasmine didn't just break." Another replied, "You don't pull someone's mailbox out for custodia. Unstable." And then there came another leak, just when it seemed like the internet was becoming too loud. An anonymous email with blurry images attached was sent to bloggers. Two showed the Frost cover